Well, here we are again for another episode of Marco's World News, broadcasting again from the rooftop terrace of the Four Seasons Hotel in Beirut. When I woke up this morning, my first thought again was on our man Terry Waite, the Archbishop of Canterbury's envoy, who was sent out here to negotiate the release in 1987, the release of Western hostages, including McCarthy, the reporter from England, Irishman I think he was. I don't think they quite thought it through, because instead of negotiating with the Hezbollah, who didn't give a fuck for the West because the West didn't give a fuck for Hezbollah, I don't think they thought it through quite frankly, because he was soon taken hostage and was imprisoned for 5 years in Beirut. Now, the interesting thing about that is it's a bit like sending a missionary to Africa to help the starving and they eat him. Well, it's a bit like everyone's a winner. Watching the bombing of Beirut as a kid, in fact of a certain generation, for the past, I don't know, several decades, watching the destruction of this beautiful nation, it becomes synonymous, the word or the phrase, "it's like Beirut," entered English parlance and a new idiom was formed, which meant all things destroyed or derelict. Well, actually, this place has been razed to the ground and destroyed 7 times throughout history, and every single time it's bounced back. It's like the magic rubber ball, just keeps bouncing back. In fact, it's one of the most sophisticated countries and cities I've been in. It's astonishing what they've done. In fact, it should be synonymous with the phoenix, because this city truly is the phoenix that keeps rising from the ashes. A very, very resilient race indeed. In fact, it's brought us so much. They've got 40 different daily newspapers. There's 40 banks here. I don't mean branches, I mean different banks. There's 42 universities. The Sky Bar here was voted the best nightclub in the world. Jesus performed his first miracle in Lebanon, turning water into wine. I've seen similar miracles on a nightly basis, where nightclubs turn a gin and tonic into 35 quid. It's been invaded dozens of times. It's been invaded by the Assyrians, the Persians, the Egyptians, the Babylonians, even the Romans had their bit here. Alexander the Great, the Byzantines, the Arabians. Who else? The Ottomans, France, even Britain, Syria, Israel, and more. It's not because it's a shite place, it's because it's beautiful. It's also represented and known as one of the top shopping destinations in the world. Every single fashion and luxury brand is represented here. It's astonishing. There's 5 million people live here. It's similar population to Scotland and very similar resilience. 40% of them are Christians. Well, it's no surprise really. All that shit was invented round here. 10% of them are doctors. 10% of Scotsmen are not pissheads. Anyway, the Babylonians, the city of Byblos, which I'm going to tomorrow, is one of the oldest, in fact the oldest, continuously habited cities in the world. In fact, even the name Lebanon has never changed its name, making it the oldest name-place country in the world. It's also the smallest country in Asia. It's almost encircled by Syria. The hostilities round here means these people round here have never seen peace, but as such, a peaceful race. Anyway, tune in next week for some more shite news. But just before I go, this city has given us so much. In fact, just down there is where Hannah and Barbera were actually born. Yes, the creators of Tom and Jerry. How fucking weird. Tune in for some more shite news.